Welcome to my cast project, which is a podcast. Today, my guest is Ellie Sindler.
Hi.
Question. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Ellie Sindler.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Thanks.
What's your name?
It's Ellie Sindler.
That's really cool. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? Why would you say blue?
A lot of people like blue. It's just a solid one, you know.
That's fair. What's your favorite animal?
Banana slugs.
Banana slugs. And why?
Well, you see, I don't actually. Banana slugs aren't, a well-known animal. And I think at one point in my life, I wanted to be quirky, and got into banana slugs, and just kind of rolled with that.
Understandable.
But
I like giraffes.
Yeah.
I'm so quirky.
Why do you like giraffes?
I'm just so quirky. I'm tiny. Okay. Now the real questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are the
What would you say the most annoying, or like one of the annoying questions someone that really isn't involved with a social group you're involved with might be?
Well, Ewan, you and I talked about this a little bit. I think it depends on who's asking the question. Because if anyone, who I know, or like my friends especially, if you're trying to ask a question and you're just trying to understand something about me, I don't really care what you ask. I know that's going to be different for different people.
Right.
And some people are going to feel uncomfortable answering certain things. But I think I'm a pretty open book with the people I know. So as long as you're coming from a place of curiosity and you're just trying to understand more, I don't really mind.
That's really cool.
A lot of questions, so thank you.
That's really cool you did. So there's nothing like anyone's ever been like.
Nothing weird. It's kind of weird. Being asexual, it's kind of like one of the niche, I would say, sexuality. It's not as well known.
It's not as well known
as LGB or whatever. So, you kind of have to do some more explanation.
Understand.
A lot of it. My mom didn't understand how I could be dating someone and asexual at the same time, but
Fair.
I think it's still, you just got to understand that it's like they just want to know.
Do you think that growing up in a world where everybody was kind of just a carbon copy of like me, basically, white straight guy you didn't relate to them at all very much? You think that really affected you? Or do you think?
Yeah. I think a lot of media looks like me too.
Fair.
Honestly, so I think that's kind of hard. There's definitely not a lot of ace representation in the world. We're getting there, and I think the internet has helped a lot with kind of movies, and everyone's learning more and changing. So
yeah.
So it's getting there, I would say. But yeah, everyone looks like me too a lot of the time. I would say.
Fair.
I mean, I know you're gonna have other girls on here, but there's definitely some aspect of societal pressure from the media to be skinny or whatever. But I feel pretty represented, I would say.
That's really cool.
Oh, thanks.
That's good. Question 5. How do you think? Oh no, that's the previous one.
Question
6. Okay. Do you believe that the idea of diversity and that Disney or other media companies have tried to subscribe to recently are legitimate? Do you believe that the way diversity has been enacted recently is the right way? Like, for example, in the most recent Star Wars, there was on the screen for 2 seconds, there was the lesbian kiss. Is that a good representation in your mind, or is it kind of just throwaway, whatever, here's a kiss,
I think it would have been, because a lot of representation is just seeing yourself. So I don't mind as much that Finn and Poe weren't gay or whatever, but I think the bad part about it is how much Disney hyped up the kiss and then being look how well we are, when it was half a second.
Right.
But it's also interesting because my parents, we saw Star Wars and I was like, oh, that was cool. The kiss, It was
there.
nice, but it was like, you know, a second. And my parents were like, it felt like the diversity and it was forced, you know, and there was like
it kind of felt natural to me. It just
and I think, you know, we're the youth, and not even just the kids, but they were like, you know, there were like a disproportionately small amount of white people in there, and like, you know, for me, I was like, oh well, it seemed good, but I think everyone's gonna have different opinions on that.
Also, I feel like having not enough white people's not really a problem anymore.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really care about that.
Yeah. And then there's the new movie with Chris Pratt and Tom Holland.
Oh yeah, where Lena Waithe and they're like the first openly gay character.
Right, yeah, and then it's like a weird purple Cyclops lady.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a little weird. The first like openly gay Disney characters.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I saw something where they were like all the there's a big thing with like black characters. This is not really, you know, something I can speak to very well, but like someone noticed this trope where like Tiana turns into a frog, and like the trailer for Soul, like he turns into a little guy. So like all these black characters like
they're not
like
black
stop
the
being
entire
people
time.
for a while. Yeah. But yeah, that's not really something I'm a part
So
of.
maybe you would say certain diverse groups or societal groups have been in the media have been reduced just to the title of their.
Yeah, and I'd say a lot of the media, like, it's getting better, but just the problem is everyone trying to like hype themselves up and like pat themselves on the back.
Like Avengers.
Like Avengers, I was gonna say.
There was the one scene. It was like,
And
my
he's
boy.
like,
I went
will
on a
do
date
this.
with a guy.
Yeah.
It's like they were like, we really want to put that in there. It's like you said one line.
Yeah.
That alluded to that he was gay.
Yeah.
It's a little.
And also, like, to us, it's like it's not even a deal, but like, you know, to my
To them,
parents,
they're
they're
like,
like, whoa, like, you know, that was a big move.
Right.
So.
To the youth, it's like we see gay people all the time. There's stuff made by young people that's prominently gay characters in regular roles.
Yeah.
Or black or Latino or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good question. What are your thoughts on people saying that they like certain media, not because they thought it was good, but rather like they see a group being represented and they're like, that group's happy. No, I like the movie. Like Crazy Rich Asians, that was a big deal. Like a lot of people were like, oh, there's Asians in that movie. I don't really like it, but there's a lot of my Asian friends like it, so I like it now. Like.
Okay, so not necessarily like my identity is being represented, but like I know that there's people out there that feel validated about it.
Well, not like, but like you see people out there and they're like that. Do you think that's like a bad thing? Like people are like, I'm cool because I like that there is diversity. Not like they're supporting the diversity. They're just kind of being like, there is diversity. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, it's also there's so little diversity. Like it'd be nice to get to a point where there's more movies, so then we can, you know, we could choose which movie like with representation that we like because it's good, you know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't really know. Haven't thought about that too much.
Because I know a lot of people, when Black Panther and Get Out came out, it was like, oh, these are just regular movies with black people in them. Like, and that was such a big deal. And so people were like, yeah, Black Panther, it's really cool because black people. Like, nobody praised it because it was like a legitimately really good movie. It was just, it was a movie with black people in it.
Got it.
It's kind of,
I think
how do you feel about that?
People are so scared of like cancel culture, which I don't really think is real, but like
I get it.
Like people sometimes just have to deal with the things they said, but like people are so afraid of like, you know, I say Black Panther is bad and everyone like thinks I'm a racist to like, you know, think something else. But yeah, I think people should just
have their opinions. Yeah. Don't be afraid.
And be cool. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's a really good opinion.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have something.
Oh.
This is one time my best friend's mom said to me, I forget what we were talking about, but she said like, I think everyone's like a little bit racist, and that like everyone's got like prejudices that we all have to like overcome. So like, instead of being like so scared of being a racist, just like everyone, or like, you know, whatever minority group or like recognizing that you probably have a problem because of society and like moving past it is better than like tiptoeing around.
That's fair. That's really fair.
Thank you.
That's a really good point.
Thanks. I thought it was good. I was like, wow, changed my whole worldview.
Changed the whole world. No, I think that diversity is a good thing when it's genuine and like.
Yeah.
I mean, Princess and the Frog was not, like, a lot of it was stereotypes and they made her a frog the entire time.
Yeah.
That's not entirely cool. But it was, like, a regular story made about black characters. That was just, like, it wasn't, like, hey, we're black, look at our movie the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But nowadays, there is the celebration of just diversity, not the like goodness of a movie or of a TV show. Which is like a conundrum because we can't celebrate things that are good because they're good anymore so much. We can't. That came out weird.
It sounded a little crotchety, old man.
Yeah, crotchety old man. Ewan. No.
No, I think it's okay. But yeah, I think like you can say like it was good and like also we can do better to get like, you know, more diverse people in these spaces.
And not make diversity like a party.
Like a
it's
fun.
Just,
yeah.
It's just how it is. It's
yeah.
not like, hey, by the way, we've got black characters. It's like, hey, by the way, this is real life.
Yeah.
Which is different from what the media seems to be doing right now.
Yeah.
That was a really good conversation about that question.
Oh,
now,
thank you.
Question number 10. Skipped a few. I guess it'd be question 8. Do you think that people like Ellen or Oprah or Colin Kaepernick or even Jennifer Lopez, who are parts of like minority or oppressed groups or communities, are like effective representatives of those groups? Do you think they stand as role models anymore because they've been benefiting from fame and the riches that come from fame? Do you think that they see the same problems that people on the street, like without all the money and all the fame? Do you think they're still good representatives after all of that?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good question. I mean, personally, I would say I like look up to a lot of celebrities as like role models. So I don't know if I've like personally thought of this with my life a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question. I think it's fair to say like it's cool to see this representation and like also like this isn't really a person that has that much in common with me because they are celebrities. But like any celebrity is going to be a celebrity. Like if you're going to see representation, it's going to be from that. So
right. I remember seeing recently on Twitter there was some person who was of the LGBT community who was who wasn't a fan that Ellen is the face of the lesbian community anymore. Like she's old and she's kind of out of it.
Yeah, like sat next to George W. Bush.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of out of it, and a lot of people. I saw that a few people in the lesbian community were like, I don't know if she should be the face anymore or the big face.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I think, it's always good to have more faces, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the whole single story thing. Like, everyone's got a different experience. So, like, Ellen, no matter, like, what she is, she's not going to be able to, you know, represent all lesbians or, like, all queer people. So, yeah, just more faces seems good.
More faces is a good way to support growth.
Yeah.
Diversity and in just representing people as a whole. In every group.
I think so. Yeah.
Dude.
Awesome. We didn't even talk about being Jewish, and that was why you wanted me here.
Well, you know. What about Seinfeld? What do you think about Seinfeld?
I used to watch Seinfeld. Seinfeld, like, as part of this question?
Just about any question.
Seinfeld's kind of old and weird now.
He is old and creepy and weird. Isn't his wife, like, 30? And he's, like,
oh, maybe.
70?
He, like, had this thing where he was, like, you can't do comedy these days because everyone's too PC.
Right. Well, that's all those
That's just all those old comedians.
Yeah. Isn't Louis C.K. Jewish? Or
there's a lot of Jewish comedians out there.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we're represented pretty.
New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. A Jewish entertainer? That's from The Simpsons. There's like someone meets Krusty the Clown or like his dad or someone, and they're like a Jewish entertainer. Who would have thought? So, you know.
Well, this has been a great conversation.
Oh,
I feel like I've learned a bit from someone with a different point of view than me, and I
Oh.
really appreciate that.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, of course.
Of course. Should we do the sign off?
Oh, it's the sign off.
I don't know. I figured
do
we
the
could
sign-off.
improv it. Well, this has been Ewan and Ellie
Doing the podcast.
doing the podcast.